Nah, let's keep it a buck. DJ Khaled has exposed himself as one of the fakest dudes in hip hop. Energy don't lie, bruh. I always felt something off about him. And Ace Hood's my confirmation. He did that man dirty and now look. Drake washing his hands of him, fans roasting him, his own cousin calling him a traitor for staying silent on Palestine. Khaled been living off other people's talent front like he's a genius when really he's just a middleman screaming, "Another one." But guess what? The industry finally said, nah, we don't need another one, we're done. Look, I'll give Khaled his credit. He ain't just pop up out of nowhere. Bro been around since the early 2000s, grinding on radio, rolling with Terror Squad, Fat Joe, playing his part in that Miami wave.
You around me, you know, I get you hype and energetic, you know what I'm saying? Anything I do, I'm just mad energy.
Then Snapchat blew him up into a walking meme. He knew how to use social media before most rappers even figured out how to post a story. And let's be real, the music hit too for a while. I'm the One, Wild Thoughts, All I Do Is Win. You couldn't escape those joints. His 2017 album Grateful went double platinum. Every party, every club, you heard Khaled's name even if he barely touched the beat. But here's the thing. All that success built him a bubble. A money-fueled bubble where he started believing his own hype. Like We the Best wasn't just a tag but gospel and fans played along because he was harmless. Kinda goofy. The guy always yelling positivity. The industry rocked with him. The memes kept him relevant and his Rolodex was stacked. But under all that shouting and jet skiing on Snapchat, you could already tell he was more about the brand than the art. The whole, what does Khaled even do on a record joke wasn't really a joke. He was just a middleman curating vibes and living off features. That's cool when people love you. But once the tide turns, that same formula makes you look real expendable. 2019 was the moment the mask slipped. Khaled dropped Father of Assad and thought it was automatic #1. He had the features, the budget, the machine. He figured nobody could touch him. But then Tyler, the Creator, dropped Igor. Whole different vibe, experimental, creative, something fresh. And boom, it takes the top spot. And Khaled, instead of congratulating the man like a grown-up, he threw a temper tantrum. Went online salty talking about, I make albums so people can play them everywhere. Not that mysterious you never hear.
I gotta say this too. I make albums so people can play it and you actually hear it. You know, driving your car, you hear another car playing it. You know, go to the barbershop, you hear them playing it. You know, turn the radio on and you hear them playing it. You know, it's playing everywhere. It's called great music. It's called albums that you actually hear the songs. Not no mysterious shit and you never hear it. On your dome.
Basically saying Tyler's album ain't real music because you can't hear it blasting at the barbershop. Bruh, do you hear yourself? Tyler out here pushing boundaries, creating art. You out here mad because you didn't hear Igor playing at 7-Eleven. That meltdown showed the world what I already felt. Khaled ain't about creativity. He's about charts and ego. Tyler even laughed at him later. Said he was moonwalking in a wig while Khaled had every A-list artist on speed dial and still lost.
The Khaled thing was like, it was fun. It was just watching a man die inside because the weirdo was winning. I was moonwalking in a wig. Everyone on his album, everyone wasn't wrong. Like, I'm not in the barbershop. I'm not at the club. I'm not diddy skitty. I'm not in the back of the Maybach. So for some guy like that to kind of indirectly be like, that ain't real rap. That ain't real black music. That's what it felt like.
That moment exposed Khaled for what he really was. A sore loser who built his identity on being #1. And once that ego cracked, people stopped looking at him like the goofy, positive, mean guy and started seeing the jealousy, the greed, the entitlement. That was the turning point. From there, everything Khaled did started looking fake. After that Tyler meltdown, Khaled started doubling down on the image. The man went from lovable meme to walking parody of himself. Every move he made just screamed out of touch. Remember when he said nobody could beat him in a versus?
They think this shit is normal.
Right.
It's not.
That's why you can't do a versus. You will smoke everybody in versus.
We gotta love every. I mean, that's facts. But no. Anybody's ever asked me that, I always said that. I'm not never backing down on that talk. But I'm saying, but I'm not doing a verse. I got love for verses. I sound clash my whole life. I've been battling my whole life. Trust me. But when it comes down to battle and verses and all that, I'm more of a fan of it because I used to sound clash my whole life.
Bruh, stop. You ain't even rapping. You yelling, "We the best" over other people's work.
DJ Khaled, we the best!
That's like the substitute teacher saying he could out-teach the professor. Delusional. And then that video of him being carried by his security so his Jordans wouldn't get dirty. Man, do you know how wild that looks in a world where folks working 3 jobs just to keep the lights on? People starving, struggling, and Khaled got grown men carrying him like some pharaoh just so the souls don't scuff. That ain't Major Key. That's Major Clown. Even the whole positivity brand started looking fake. He'd hype himself up like he was some motivational guru, but behind the scenes, label people saying he was furious, mean, and entitled when he didn't get his way. The public only saw the smiley DJ Khaled yelling blessings, but industry folks saw the other side. That's when people started asking, who is the real Khaled? The meme guy we laughed at, or the greedy, self-absorbed dude who can't handle losing? Either way, the shine was fading. Now, this part right here, this is where the downfall got real ugly, because DJ Khaled ain't just any artist. He's Palestinian, one of the biggest, most famous Palestinians on earth. You think when your people going through hell, you'd use that platform, right? Speak up, donate, show some backbone. But Khaled, silent, posting lobster dinners in sneaker halls while Gaza getting bombed. Fans lit his comments on fire. Your country under attack and you dancing? Don't call yourself Palestinian. Even his own cousin called him out. Same bloodline, same village, saying there's no excuse. That's your people. Meanwhile, folks like Bella Hadid risking careers, getting shadow banned, dragged online, but standing on business. And Khaled, nothing. He played it safe because controversy might mess up the bag. It ain't even the first time either. Back in 2016, he was doing shows for Sabra Hummus, a company tied to funding the Israeli military. Palestinians saw that as a straight-up sellout move. D.L. Hughley went off on him after that clip of Khaled being carried to save his Jordans. Said, we're used to Palestinians being carried, but usually it's bodies with no shoes, no feet. Dave Chappelle even joked, how Khaled the only fat Palestinian on earth right now. People starving, he eating good. Bruh, when comedians turning you into a punchline over your silence, that's bad. And it shows. The people he claims to represent don't even claim him back anymore. They see the truth. Khaled picked money over his people. And once that label hit him, sellout, traitor, coward, is stuck. And here's the crazy part. That same selfishness, that same silence, it's exactly what came back to bite him with Drake too. See, Khaled could have maybe survived the Palestine heat if the music still hit. But the one dude keeping him afloat, Drake. And once that relationship cracked, it was curtains. For years, Drake was Khaled's cheat code. Every album rollout had the same meme. Did the Drake vocals come in yet? And people joked about it, but it was true. Khaled built whole projects around whether Drake sent them a file. That's not producing. That's babysitting a Dropbox. So in 2023, Khaled teased his next album like it was a blockbuster. I got 2 Drake songs. Bruh was running around with posters, shouting it on IG. Even dropped a Hollywood-style trailer with Mark Wahlberg like it was Fast and Furious. Whole promo campaign built on the fact he had Drake features. Not the music, not the concept, just Drake. But then February 2025 came and Khaled made the big announcement. And Drake nuked it with one IG comment, must be Drake Bell. Whole internet started clowning him. Cutting off foreign aid, memes flying everywhere. Within days, Khaled deleted the announcement like it never happened. That was the moment. The world saw how desperate he really was. His entire rollout, 2 years of hype, killed. And one sarcastic comment. And worse, it showed Drake ain't rocking with him like that anymore. And honestly, that's been bubbling for years. Here's the part Khaled don't want nobody talking about. Drake been tired of him. That brother for life talk, cap. Behind the scenes, Drake been finessing Khaled for years. Take that 2017 track to the max. Word is, Drake ain't even want to drop it. Khaled begged so hard that Drake finally said, fine, but I'm taking 95% of the publishing. 95, bruh. That's a straight tax for being annoying. That's like saying, you want this verse? Cool. But you basically paying child support for it. And it didn't stop there. Academics even said most of the last Drake collabs were records Drake didn't want to put out. He just tossed them to Khaled because he wouldn't stop blowing up his phone. Drake even joked about it in that skit, calling Khaled off his rocker. Always another one, honey, honey, honey. Bruh, sounded fed up. Then came the rap civil war. Drake versus Kendrick. Whole industry picked sides. Future, Ross, Metro, The Weeknd, everybody firing shots. And Khaled, dead silent. This the same man calling Drake his brother, but when things got hot, he hid. No defending, no loyalty, nothing. From Drake's eyes, that's betrayal. Because when you catching strays, silence is loud. That's why on tracks like Blue, Green, Red, he rapped, friends are treated like family. They were just hanging around. That bar hit different when you think of Khaled. So by the time Khaled popped out with that I got 2 Drake songs rollout, Drake probably thinking, nah, you sat quiet while I got jumped for 8 months. Now you want to eat off my name? And boom, Khaled's rollout got torched. That's why people said he ain't just losing a feature, he losing his lifeline. And if losing Drake wasn't bad enough, the whole industry split up right when Khaled needed everybody together. That rap civil war turned hip-hop into a divorce court, and Khaled stuck like the kid nobody wants custody of. Think about it. Ross versus Drake, Future versus Drake, Metro versus Drake, Kendrick versus Drake. All his go-to features, they beefing with each other. Fans joke Khaled gonna have to call Ice Spice, Central C, and 4-Bats just to get a track list. Cause his regulars, they all ops now. And Khaled tried to stay neutral, playing it safe like Switzerland. But in this game, silence is betrayal. He wanted to keep every door open, but ended up with every door closed. Nobody trusts him. Even Ross dragged him into the mess. Remember that IG story Ross posted clowning Drake's nose job and tagging Khaled? That was Ross basically saying, yeah, you quiet, but you still in the middle. Khaled couldn't win. If he picked a side, he'd lose half his connects. By saying nothing, he lost respect. So now he's stranded. No Drake cosign, no industry unity, no loyalty from the peers he built his whole brand on. For a dude whose whole career was, I bring the biggest stars together, suddenly nobody wants to sit at his table. That's death for Khaled. And when the sharks smell blood, everybody piles on. Suddenly Khaled got new haters popping up left and right. Kodak Black, a dude Khaled actually worked with before, straight up dropped a snippet saying,
all we doing win-win, DJ Khaled, says up.
That ain't just a diss, it's a straight eviction notice from the culture. Fans clown him nonstop too. Every time he posts, comments full of Palestine bars, Drake jokes, clown emojis, Reddit even roasting him with lines like, the only ceasefire Khaled wants is between Drake and Ross so he can use them for collabs again. Cold, but not wrong. And insiders, they don't respect him either. People from his own label said when that Tyler loss happened, he was furious behind the scenes, talking nasty. Way different from the positive image he pushes online. Then Khaled goes around overstating his history like he's hip-hop Fort Gump, saying he was there when Wayne met Birdman. Bruh, Wayne was like 9 when Birdman scooped him. You weren't in the room. Stop lying. That's the pattern. Khaled exaggerates, begs, plays all sides, and now every side is turning on him. The funny meme guy became the corny, desperate uncle everybody's tired of. And when Kodak and the internet both clowning you, that's how you know the streets and the timeline agree. You finished. See, here's the lesson in all this. DJ Khaled spent his whole career avoiding risk, playing it safe, chasing charts, begging for features, and hiding behind the brand. But when the smoke cleared, He had no real foundation, no respect, no loyalty, no backbone. And I'm going to be real with you. I always felt the energy was off. Energy don't lie. The Ace Hood situation, that was my confirmation. Ace Hood was one of the most talented, positive dudes out here. He was set up to win, but Khaled kept him shelved, played politics, and that man's career never recovered. Khaled ate off him, then moved on like it was nothing. That told me everything I needed to know about his character. Now look, Drake clowns him, fans roast him, his own people call him a sellout. All those years of screaming we the best don't mean nothing when everybody finally sees who you really are. At the end of the day, you can buy sneakers, jets, houses, but you can't buy respect. And once the respect gone, so is your career. So what you think? Is DJ Khaled really finished? Or can he somehow crawl back with another big feature? Drop your take in the comments. I'll see you on the next one. Panda out.